Hello and welcome back to Barney's for Breakfast with me, April Federico. For those of you who don't know me or don't know me well, I am a certified nutritionist and holistic nutrition counselor. My path to get here was unconventional to say the least. However, nevertheless, she persisted. I realized I never really took into account how many people actually listen to this podcast and I do realize I went dark. It's what they call dark when you don't post any episodes at all in the month of September. Not specifically the month of September, but you know what I mean. And sorry, my brain has like a million tabs open at once. Or maybe that's just my computer or my whatever. Type A. And yeah, and I never really shared my personal story with diabetes here on this particular podcast. I've pretty much um told it all around the world. By all around the world, I mean podcasts in Kenya and podcasts in the UK. It's been on international radio, yada yada. And I'm grateful for all those opportunities. But I thought I would share it with you as well as my new concept, which is adding mindset to medication. And this is going to be the topic of today's episode. So without further ado, let's start. So on February 14th, 2022, my pancreas didn't show me much love, but don't worry, I got a very lovely text from my boyfriend that day. But in all seriousness, it was my first day at my very first big girl job. That's a term for corporate. And I felt so ill that I needed to go home early on the first day. How awful is that? Because passing out at my desk and overdosing on antacid tablets would not have been ideal. And in hindsight, if I had stayed, I would have been taken away in an ambulance. And when I finally decided to go to the hospital at around midnight, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I passed out and nurses and doctors thought I had COVID, but it was something much more serious, so serious that I almost died, literally. That is right. I almost succumbed to diabetic ketoacidosis. I woke up in the ICU with doctors and nurses interrogating me about where I was, and I was so out of it that I think I said I was at my boyfriend's dad's pool party or something. And but when I was actually at least somewhat conscious, doctors then asked, April, you do know you're diabetic, right? And I wanted to say, I do now. Because literally I had no inch of knowing. And I spent 4 days in the ICU and one day in regular care, practically choking on large potassium pills. And by the time I was released from the hospital, my hands were still blown up like Mickey Mouse gloves from all of the IV injections. And by the way, calcium injections hurt so bad. You will recognize the pain for the rest of your life. And regardless, I spent the next 1 to 2 weeks crying, literally not knowing how to manage my blood glucose and simultaneously educating myself on type 2 diabetes because they literally just sent me home with a packet and I was well on my way. But to where? And eating certain foods was like a guessing game. Like, would I spike? Would I not? It was a constant just guessing game. And at one point, I had filmed myself on TikTok. And if you follow me on Instagram at the April Federico, it's pinned and it's I guess they call it like a stitch or something. I don't know. Can you tell I'm a millennial? I guess so. I guess it's obvious. But I remember bawling my eyes out and petting my cat at like 1 a.m. And at one point I did say, I don't know when the crying will stop, but I know there is hope. And I was right. I managed to get off the emotional roller coaster that was my diagnosis and handle my diabetes with what would be my Cicero method. So I was actually giving this speech at a summit yesterday, and I realized I said it too fast. And a lot of people ask me to repeat this on their podcast, so I'm just going to repeat it one more time. Confidence and intelligence create emotional resilience to optimize, in parentheses, your well-being. In other words, I added mindset to my medication. So before diving into how to incorporate mindset into medication, it's crucial to understand the mind-body connection because scientific research has consistently shown that our thoughts, emotions, and attitudes can influence our physical well-being. Stress, for example, can exacerbate certain medical conditions, while a positive attitude can boost the effectiveness of treatment. So, here are some of the key aspects of the mind body connection. So, number one is the placebo effect. And the placebo effect demonstrates the power of belief in medical outcomes. Patients who believe they are receiving effective treatment may experience improvements in their condition, even when given a placebo. Stress and healing. Chronic stress can weaken the immune system and hinder the body's ability to heal. Reducing stress through mindset techniques can enhance the healing process. Mindful medication. Being present and attentive while taking medication can improve its effectiveness, and mindfulness techniques can help individuals focus on their treatment. And this is how you can incorporate mindset into medication. The first is education and awareness. The first step in adding mindset to medication is educating your patients and clients about the importance of their mental state in the healing process. Patients should understand that their thoughts and beliefs can impact how their body responds to medication. Visualization. So encourage your patients to visualize their recovery. Visualization, you probably heard this a lot in terms of manifestation, but this can activate the brain's reward system and enhance motivation, making it a valuable tool for healing. And again, mindful medication, taking medication mindfully involves being fully present during the process. And I'm not talking about like being rushed while trying to get out the door to go to work. And this can enhance the effectiveness of the medication by ensuring it is taken as prescribed. Um, Stress reduction. So I'm going to say it again. Stress is a significant impediment to healing. Techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, and yoga can help patients manage stress and promote a positive mindset. Support systems, building a strong support network of friends and family can provide emotional reinforcement during the healing process. And positive social interactions can improve mental well being. Mind body therapies. Consider CBT. I'm actually considering that for myself at the moment. So consider like complementary therapies like acupuncture, massage therapy, and like I said, CBT to address both the physical and mental aspects of healing. And to prove my point here, I am going to highlight a case study. It's a hypothetical case study that illustrates the power of adding mindset to medication. Sorry, my throat chakra is just not working. um, so Sarah, a cancer patient, was prescribed chemotherapy. Initially, she was overwhelmed with fear and anxiety about the treatment. Her oncologist recommended incorporating a positive mindset into her treatment plan. Sarah started practicing mindfulness and visualization techniques. She visualized the chemotherapy as a powerful superhero or ally, targeting and eliminating the cancer cells. She also joined a support group to connect with others facing similar challenges. And over time, Sarah's anxiety decreased and she began to view her treatment more positively. And remarkably, her physical response to chemotherapy improved and she experienced fewer side effects. So, Sarah's case highlights how a positive mindset can enhance the effectiveness of medication. And disclaimer right off the bat, I probably should have said this at the beginning, but incorporating mindset into medication is not about dismissing the value of pharmaceuticals. Rather, it's about recognizing the connection between the mind and the body during the healing process. And by educating your patients about the mind body connection and offering strategies to promote a positive mindset, healthcare providers can empower individuals to actively participate in their healing journey. Ultimately, this is a holistic approach to treatment that combines medication with a positive mindset that can lead to more effective and fulfilling outcomes in healthcare. And may I add, in summation, with my personal journey with diabetes, that this method of using mindset to ultimately take back my health, I was successful in beating diabetes. I now have a hemoglobin A1C of 5.6%, which is the percentage of glucose in my body, um, or bloodstream. um, and it's considered non-diabetic. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see you next time on Brownies for Breakfast. Bye.